Luffy was following Zoro around, so.
I have a question I would like to start us off with. So we see all of these lovely One Piece fans here. The show is very loved. It has been viewed many times, so many episodes. So many. What has it been like seeing the love for the series and these characters grow all these years?
Well, it's been awesome. You guys, we started on our version of the dub, 17 years ago? And I distinctly remember standing in my bedroom and getting the phone call and they said, hey, you're a Straw Hat. And I was like, oh my gosh, which one am I? Because I had also read for Luffy. And they were like, you're Nami, and you should know this is going to be a commitment. And of course, we were like, what does that mean? I mean, what, 5 years? That would be amazing, and here we are.
I mean, to be fair, and especially in like the earlier days of anime, a second season, multiple seasons were kind of unknown. So that was a fair question.
I came from Dragon Ball Z, so I thought I really wasn't fishing for that, but thank you. Yeah, thank you. But so I knew what a long commitment could be, but wow, this show is really committed. But it's great though, because it gives us so much time to develop and grow with these characters. I mean, we don't get that kind of honor usually in this business, so it's amazing, you know?
I joined only 11 years ago.
He's new.
I'm one of the new ones.
New kid.
And I remember when I started, I'd be talking to people about it, and they go, man, that show is way too long. I could never watch 300 episodes. And then I feel kind of like it was quarantine. That's the reason. I mean, I love doing this. Raise your hand if you started One Piece after quarantine.
Yeah.
Are you caught up?
Look at that.
Thank God for Corona.
How many of you are caught up?
Thank you.
That's very impressive.
So it's amazing because there were times when we even didn't do the dub for a little while and we never got this response. So thank you. So I always like to say, if you are that friend in the friend group that is like never shuts up about One Piece and you've been pushing it on your friends and now they're all watching One Piece with you, thank you. We really appreciate you.
Also, if you are brand new to One Piece, welcome. Thank you for taking a chance on our 1,000 episode show.
So we have talked about the many episodes on this show, and having dubbed so many of these episodes and maybe dubbing them out of order, when you're dubbing, you might not fully see the whole episode, you might just see your scenes. So that all being said, what do you do personally to stay up to date with everything that's gone on, all the events?
Oh, they're looking at me because I have an opinion on it. I actually don't. I've had a rule since I got Brooke. It was very quickly after I got Brooke, I made the decision that I never wanted to know more than Brooke knew in that moment, because it'll affect things. So like Shanks. Who doesn't love Shanks, right? Brooke, if he saw Shanks, I don't want you to hear Ian Sinclair going like, yeah, that's that Yonka. No, you can't hear that. You need to hear Brooke going, who are you? Oh, Luffy talks about you, yeah. But I held off for as long as I could, but then I started reading the manga, and now it's so good.
It's weird because I read the manga up to the point that they find Brooke. But for the same reason I stopped. I was like, I want to be surprised. I want to live this more. I want to live in the moment.
The noises, all of it comes so much more organically because I don't want to. No, I'm not going to spoil things. That's the hard thing. I want to talk about things like. So you remember that thing in Wano? No, I can't remember. Yes, things are able to be so much more fresh, and your reactions, because if you don't know that maybe a bad guy that you fought before came back. That I remember the first sound I made when somebody came back that I didn't care for, and I remember like, oh God, no! And that came from in here.
I think I'm gonna go back and finish and get up to 1,000 at least. Yeah.
Read it with me. The Shout and Jump app is like $3 a month. Like,
All right.
you can binge through it.
I like the paper though.
Go get the paper though.
I haven't kept up real good. Well, I've gone in and out over the years, right, of being on top of things. Most of the time, I, as well, just rely on the director to kind of tell me what I need to know. But these days, it's so fun. There are so many people following the show, which has not always been the case. So I'm most often tipped off by what's coming and what's going on by stuff I'm reading online. And
So many times I do that. Go online and find a site where they're talking about it. And go, oh, that's what they're talking about. Okay.
yeah.
And so for the points or the moments in time when maybe you are reading the manga or are staying up to date with what's coming down the pipeline, in those moments, was there a sequence or an arc or an event that was coming down the pipeline that you just were like, I cannot wait to record that? And then when you finally saw it animated, it exceeded just like all of your expectations.
So that's like what Sonny was saying is like, so someone will come up and be like, just wait until you fight so-and-so. Oh my gosh, man. And you're like, I fight them? They're like, yeah, like another couple hundred issues or something like that, man. And so you read ahead and you see those scenes kind of before because it was, recorded in Japanese years earlier.
I knew I was going to sing the Soga King song 5 years before I got to do it. So I was really chomping at the bit to do it.
But I mean, I feel like that was Gear 5, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about Gear 5, so we were just waiting to see Gear 5. Like, we just, that's sort of how that worked. I couldn't wait to get there. And Wano in general, I feel like was like that. Everybody was like, Wano's amazing. And it was amazing.
So how did you guys feel?
I thought it was great. I got to spend a lot of my time with Usopp while we were fighting Ulti.
That was so fun.
It was so fun.
I love that we got to do impressions of each other's characters. I hope that's not a spoiler, but...
But I'm just saying, there's a part in there where he's pretending like he's Nami. And I'm watching it going, of course, Nami is just horrified and mad about it. But then I got up to a part where she's like trying to be Usopp. And they were like, can you do an Usopp voice? And I was like, I don't know. Can I do an Usopp voice? I'm like...
I was dying when I heard that. I fell on the floor of the studio laughing at her Usopp voice. Because all I did was just, standard, I'm a girl!
I want to take a moment to pause here because I think everyone, Collen Clinkenbeard!
Oh, Captain,
I'm sorry I was late. I'm sure it was somebody else's fault and not my fault.
Zora.
It was Zora. I followed Zora.
I did that joke.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm great.
Yeah.
Ask her all the questions you asked her.
Ooh,
Ask us.
I'll lightning round it.
Do you want a lightning round it?
Do it.
Yes.
Yeah? Yeah. Okay, so this is what we have asked so far. What has it been like seeing the love for this series and these characters all these years?
It was so fantastic because we all as a group had no idea if we were going to even continue dubbing it. It just didn't have the following that it had in Japan and the rest of the world, and we were kind of waiting for the Western world to catch up. And then there was a section where we were afraid we weren't going to keep going, and then when it finally came back, it just felt like from then on it was just a climb. And then the pandemic hit, and suddenly everybody had time to watch it.
God bless COVID.
Yeah. And then since then, it's been this social media storm of all of us feeling the love and you guys getting exactly what we're doing while we're doing it at the same time. And it's so immediate and fresh and like vibrant in a way that I feel like it wasn't in the past. So it's a good time to be One Piecing.
That's a pretty good answer. It wasn't as good as ours, but it was good.
Thank you.
And so we obviously talked about the many episodes that the series has, and with having dubbed so many, maybe you dubbed them out of order, maybe you only dubbed your scenes. What do you do personally to stay updated on everything that's going on?
Oh, I rely on spoilers from you guys. If you read the manga and you are up to date, come to my table. I would love to hear everything. I want to hear all of your guesses on what's going to happen. I want your theories. I want your spoilers. I want all of it, and then I like to piece it together and kind of like find out later on what that looks like.
That's good. That's a good answer.
I have theories based on your theories. So I'll look later. If she asks, I will look later.
Probably should ask. And then, was there any arc or sequence or event in the manga that you saw coming down the pipeline that you were like, I'm very excited?
I know your answer. I know your answer.
Yeah, animated, just exceeded expectations.
I mean, we all know the answer to that. It's Gear 5. That was such a huge moment in the cultural zeitgeist of One Piece and anime in general. Like everybody was hyped about it, whether they watched One Piece or not. Everybody was excited about it. And so when it happened and it didn't let anybody down, instead it was like even better and amazing.
You mean when you rocked the shit out of it?
I meant when they did. When my Tanaka did, that was even better. So that by the time it got to us in the booth, it was kind of stressful, honestly. Like I was a little concerned because I wanted to make sure that people liked it, and I know that sometimes you don't like everything. So we just put our whole into it, everything into it. We stayed late nights. We watched it together as a group. I had 2 directors with me at the time. One of my directors, Emily, brought in instruments. Like she brought in kazoos and drums, so that we could like get in the mood of the drums of liberation, and then what the other director, Anthony, had me bring in my son because he said if we could make my son laugh, then we were doing it right. I know, it was such a thing.
We were all cheering her on in her text.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I even posted one of Sonny's texts to me of like, don't worry, you're gonna be okay, just follow the
boy that your son has in his heart, yeah.
Yeah, I posted.
So sweet, you guys, for real.
But I heard it, one of the directors showed it to me, and I was just like, oh my God, she rocked it.
Thank you.
I'm curious, how many sessions did that take? Was it 1 or no?
That was a good 3 or 4. Yeah, because it spans episodes. So yeah, it was a good 3 or 4 for that fight. Maybe more? I don't remember. It was all a blur of like, please get it right. Am I caught up? Did I do everything?
I think so. You better ask
Bravo,
questions,
caught
because
up.
we'll take over.
You win.
You answered me.
Thanks. Oh, well, I wanted to just kind of expand on something you were saying, Colleen, which was the drums and the instruments and stuff like that. For all of you, has there ever also been a moment like that in the studio where maybe you did a little something extra to get more into the scene, amplify a scene of a particular episode?
Oh, I was in Full Metal Alchemist. I played Mace Hughes, and there was this. Oh, thank you. But there's a scene where he's eating a pie, and so Mike wanted it to sound real, so he had got some donuts, and he handed me these donuts to eat in the booth, right? Well, between takes, I was finishing the whole packet. And so he said, okay, give me the rest of those donuts, I'm hungry, and I went, the rest? They're all man. Met the doctor, what did I say?
Well, this is One Piece centric. When we did the show out of order, we started near Skypiea, is that right? When we took over the dub. And so we didn't go back to the beginning and start over with episode 1 until a year or 2 later. So I didn't see the Arlong arc in order, but we were working with a director named Jason Grundy.
Grundy!
Yes.
Grundy.
And his studio, the day that I did the scene, the Arlong scene, it was real dark. And he goes, this just feels like the vibe today. You know, that's whatever. And we watched the whole, and at the time, Funimation worked a certain way. I knew Grundy from another studio. He let me watch the whole scene, have my feelings, and then they let me record the whole scene in 1 take. Which Funimation did not let me do. You didn't do that. We did 1 pickup.
Yeah, I think that our method of letting actors run through the scene and get it all together so that there is some momentum and there is some through came from the early actors. You guys brought it to us, I feel like. I mean, people were doing it a little bit, but you guys are really the progenitors of that.
Yeah, only Chris Sabat, I think, was capable of doing that besides you guys. Because he played so many freaking characters.
Well, when he was directing, he would let himself do whatever he wanted.
I've directed him before, and he played like 3 characters in Dragon Ball. He just sort of did them all in the same scene. In one take.
How about you? Did you bring anything into the booth?
You remember when we got that nitro cold brew machine?
Yes.
Yeah, so I do a nitro cold brew shot that's about yay big. And then I get in the corner and I yo ho ho and get real weird with it. And I'm there, man.
Brooke is just
a good method.
highly caffeinated Ian.
Yeah. I got that job when I was in my 20s. I don't have that energy anymore. I'm just
Yeah, you're real calm.
No. And I have to warn new directors that I hear it looks a little weird when I do Brooke. Joel McDonald said it looked like I have a mental breakdown because I just go into the corner and I make the noise and then So Brooke is just eye sockets and teeth. So when I do Brooke, I do this. Okay.
Try not to see that next time you listen to Brooke.
That's right.
And then
Don't get it all the time.
I take all my direction in character. Not really like it's just a thing I did once because I was working with they were gonna okay. Yeah, fishmen. Oh, fishmen. Are they angry? And then I do that, and then I just for half an hour just let Brooke out, and then I go home and I'm very tired.
Well, we've already gotten a little bit of insight into dubbing, as well as kind of how, from when you picked it up, we mentioned 17 years, or many years this started. And so the dubbing industry has obviously changed a lot since then, and and it has grown massively. Can you speak to your experience working in the dubbing industry all these years and how One Piece has grown along with it?
Well, I'm the oldest, so I'll tell you. I started 26 years ago with Dragon Ball, and it wasn't an industry. It was just a few studios around the country that were doing it. And I honestly thought this is a fad, but I'll be on TV for a year or two. How this is awesome, and that's the end of it. And I did not realize it would dominate my life for 26 years. But yeah, by the time One Piece had come around, it was an established industry by then, but not what it is today. But it was showing that it could be.
It took a lot longer. Like everything was, I would get a phone call that would be like, hey, you have 12 hours to do on this show anytime in April, right? And now it's like, hey, you have 8 hours, or you have 1 hour, but it needs to be done before Friday, right? In this show, and also the next week, and also the next week. It's just different. Everything is so much faster production-wise. That's really changed the game a lot, I think.
Yeah. Lucy and Sonny and I, sorry, you're young.
I was about to bring that up, but go on.
Yeah. We were around when dubbing was on tape. So I remember the sound. I'm so old. I remember the sound.
To make you feel a little less bad,
Yeah.
he shouldn't have been on tape still.
Yeah, no, you're right.
We held on for a long time.
But I remember the sound of it rewinding. Like it would engage and you would record your take and then you would hear it rewind. And if you started your take a little bit too early, then you would have to do the whole thing again because it wasn't recording yet. So it would cut you off at the beginning. And now, the magic of digital technology, you could be saying a line without the engineer recording, and the director turns to the engineer and goes, oh, I liked that, and the engineer starts recording. And they can pick up what the mic set did before they started recording. So there is no, you started too early anymore. But and that leads to recording things quicker.
We throw out wild takes all the time, but you couldn't do that on tape either.
wild take is just we're still recording, and so I'll do it again even if it's not to picture, it's not to the video that we're recording to, and the engineer can cut that and move it into place. Everything is just faster, which means that we get more takes. So it used to be you got, a couple of takes and then we need to move on. And now it's like you get 10 takes in a row and it still takes up less time. But we get through a lot more. Now we're doing 30 shows a season.
It's a good point because people would say, "Oh, you guys go so much faster now. You must be the quality is going to suffer." No, the quality is fine. It's actually more. It's better because we have more opportunity.
It's way better. Yeah.
Also, access to anime is so much easier. Obviously, like you don't have to order a DVD. Right, just streaming everywhere, and which feels crazy, right? If you're older, it's like, whoa.
You guys don't have to wait for it. We record and you get the episode. One Piece is a little different.
And research is so much easier. You can find the Japanese, if you just got cast in something, what did the Japanese do? Like when I was cast as Koro Sensei, I walked in the room. Every time, they don't have to do that. But I walked in there and I thought I was doing One Piece, and Joel McDonald said, "Oh no, it's a new show, it's Assassination Classroom." I went, "Oh cool, yeah, I know about that." It's that squid guy. And I said, "What do I play?" And he goes, "You're the squid guy." And I went, "You could have told me. I could have researched this." I didn't audition, they just cast me, but I was just like, but I figured it out real quick. But we do have those resources now that we didn't have at the beginning.
I came in, as she pointed out, much later. No. And because of that, I came in as fans of a lot of them because I had seen, I was sitting in college watching Shin-Chan, and I'd watched One Piece and I grew up watching Dragon Ball. So for me going into it, I will say that there's way more people who were fans first in the industry now because they grew up watching the stuff that we've been making for the last 30 years. Another big difference is, so there was this show called Space Dandy. And Space Dandy, I just wanted to do what you did. I just wanted to do it. It feels good. So that show, we started doing simuldubs, and that was a weird pivot point for the entire industry because it used to be a thing where you do the show, you'd complete the show, and then you'd sit there going, anytime anybody mentioned the show, because you're like, I like that show. And now, literally, there have been jokes that I've been told at cons that everybody likes it when I say a word a certain way, and then I put it in the next few episodes because I was like, okay, fine, here it goes. The immediate feedback that we're able to get about what they like and what you don't like and all that kind of stuff, it's incredible. And so, in a long-running thing like One Piece, when people come up to you and they go, I love it when you do so-and-so, you're like, well, I'm going to be doing that. That's different.
We even talk about what you wanted us to do?
I don't even know.
I thought it was really insight.
Doesn't matter.
I thought it was really great insight.
Way to go, you guys!
You're good at this.
Yeah.
So, there was also a new-ish One Piece project. There was a live action. Yeah. That came out last summer. If given the opportunity, would you be interested in participating in a second season? And I mean, involved in any way, oh, you wanted to design something, or oh, production, or oh, mocap, bro.
100%.
Absolutely, yeah.
Mocap Brooke? What? I hadn't thought of that.
You would be so good.
I would love to. I would
You'd be so
absolutely
good.
kill to play Brooke. That would be amazing. But I do not expect or any I don't even expect them to reach out. I would love it. I love the show. I think they did an incredible job. I remember watching it immediately and then calling these guys and being like, oh my God, you need to watch it. It's so good. And we couldn't talk about that because the strike was on, and so we all had to be like, we can't talk about it. But we love it. It's fantastic.
They
You guys
did
like
a
it?
good job.
So I would love to be Mocap Brooke, but I will settle for a Rum Bar Pirate, or at least I just want to be there when they're singing Bink Sake. That would be nice. I would like it. Or just to see the set, or to high-five the guys that are making it. I don't care. It's awesome.
You would make such a funny pirate in the background.
Oh, thank you.
Can you picture him, but you put dreads on, you would make it real,
Funny, then you do the Brooke face.
tie things together. Yes, I would totally.
We're getting way past.
I met the live action Usopp and I told him that Jacob is amazing, but I said at first I didn't like you because you were too cool. And I was like, you can't be cool and be Usopp. And then you got scared and I went, this kid's a genius. I love him. He's amazing.
Usopp fooled even you.
He fooled me.
Yeah.
And I've been doing this for a long time.
You know, we were on a panel with 3 of the live action people, and I said, you know, something that struck me was we took over the show from an existing cast, right? There was an existing dub, and that came with some pressure. And then these people are trying to step into something that has an existing life, right? An existing vocal life and all of this stuff. And Jeff, the guy who plays Buggy, was like, oh, we knew they would all come for us if we screwed it up. You know, it was nice. So they're super nice.
Honestly, that's how it felt joining the show. Like, before anybody sees your work, it's a lot of like, hey, I heard you got cast in One Piece. Don't mess it up. Hope you can do the laugh, bro.
He can do the laugh.
I hope you can do it less. Right next to me.
You
All day
tell me a
long.
cheesy joke at my booth, then I do the laugh, and now all my friends have to hear like every 30 seconds. I did a comp next to William Shatner, and I'm pretty sure I'm his new arch nemesis from this. Which is a pretty good place to be, let's be real.
So there's one more question that I'm going to ask, and then I would like to open up to the fans. And so for those of you in the audience who were not here earlier as we were getting ready for the panel, we will be asking questions via our fan hub. So right behind me will be a QR code that you can scan, and you can submit your questions that we will be able to see right here on our monitor. You can start thinking of some questions, start answering, start submitting them, and then we will go. So the last question I would like to ask is, you all have, you know, One Piece is some of your very recognizable characters. You all have wonderful portfolios of other roles that you voiced and not necessarily just anime. So my question is there a role that you really enjoy voicing that maybe you don't get the opportunity to talk about as much?
I love Momiji from Good Luck Girl. And yeah, from that response, you all need to watch it. It was super fun. It was the closest I've come to being Bugs Bunny before Gear 5.
For me, it's the narrator for Love is War. Okay, maybe people watch it. Well, thank you. I'm really proud of that one. That was really good.
My favorite character I play is Koro Sensei, but I would say, I hate that. You have the exact opposite reaction to that. But I also played Joker in Fire Force. I think he's
Cool.
I have a little show from a million years ago called Princess Tutu. It is, yes, snaps. Y'all, it is so good. It is so good. Do not be afraid of the tutu. It is so good.
It's very adorable.
It's adorable. Yes, there's a talking cat. It is great. You must.
There's a lot of talking cats in anime, I'm just gonna say.
It's true. I know. I said that like it was a feature.
But your voice is adorable.
It's so good. It made me bald my head off. It's the first time I ever just like lost it. It made me an anime fan, that show. So that was my show. I love it.
Does everybody up here play the talking cat? Have you?
Ooh.
I played a talking cat. Did you?
I think I've been a talking cat.
I mean, I switched places.
A lot of cats.
Does the talking cat have to be in an anime, or can it just be a
Does it
talking
have to
cat?
be like a cat, or can it be like a cat man?
So any kind of feline
Oh, then yeah.
character.
Yeah.
All right, we will start going to our fan questions. Also, if there's anything you see, feel free to shout it out. If you could give your character a walkout theme song, what would it be? Ooh, I like that.
Oh, the wind carries my name. Sniper Island. I know, this is so easy. Thank you.
Cheating!
Born to be wild. Born to be wild.
But the money.
That's what I was saying. Oh, must be the money!
I mean, with Luffy, it would just be so
dumb. It would just be like head, shoulders, knees, and toes. But can we put food to it? That was the best answer of the day.
It is so Luffy.
It is so true.
I see him singing that as he's walking around.
And like falling over. Yeah.
No.
That was very funny.
So good.
So good. Oh, who do you think has the best character development and why?
Great hair development.
Character development. Oh my god.
Hair development, Frankie.
Who also has the best
Yeah,
character
Robin too. Robin's got an incredible.
What about
Also,
Usopp?
but
Character development, maybe Usopp.
If you think about the full arc of a character and where they started to where they are, I think Usopp may be the biggest change.
yeah, but Robin got a heart. I mean, that's like
Yeah.
so Tin Man arc on her.
I feel like we're gonna see her development, but we haven't yet.
Yeah.
Usopp's we've seen a lot of.
Usopp has had a ton of character development.
Zoro.
They all have, except Luffy.
Except for me.
Yeah. Luffy said he was already who he was, and he had no intention of changing. So.
I think I just get dumber the more time I spend with Luffy. Just, okay.
Can I say outside of the Straw Hats? Because then Kobe.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Kobe. Yeah, for sure.
That's easy.
What devil fruit? Oh, okay. Is the character? It's going away. Is the character you voice your?
Oh, no.
That also scrolled away. Okay.
You're gonna have to go fast.
What do you personally hope the One Piece is? There we go.
What do you hope the One Piece is?
Oh, I have an answer for that.
I do too. You first.
Okay. But what if it's a spoiler? Like, it's not a spoiler because I don't know. So just please believe, and I know some of you for some reason don't, we have no insider knowledge at all.
No. But if it's not treasure, there's going to be hell to pay.
You guys don't.
If you are current in the manga, you know more.
Yes. So I get my information from you. But I have this secret hope that the dream that Luffy, that we don't know what his dream is, that it's to travel space. And then I would think it would be really cool if the One Piece ended up being a way to do that, a spaceship.
Okay.
A ship that goes into space with the ship. Look,
Good answer. Survey said.
If you are current, then you have more reason to believe me than if you are not.
See, I think the dream that we don't know about Luffy is to throw the biggest party of all time.
Very popular opinion.
Because Oda said, like, it may all end with a giant party, so that's one of my theories. And then my theory is that it's you're mishearing it, it's not O-N-E-P-I-C-E, it's W-O-N-P-E-A-C-E. By going and doing all of that, going through the Grand Line, you have one piece.
Cute! That's cute.
I think it's a limitless supply of meat.
Food for everybody. I mean, that's popular. Yeah.
We just know he said it's tangible.
Yeah, he said it's tangible.
Piece is
And a lot of people, I'm feeling this is all spoilerific. Bringing people together in whatever way that works,
one piece.
involving fish.
But I know what you mean, like you don't want to say stuff and then like maybe it's true or whatever.
I know, right? I don't know anything.
I've been saying for years that I hope that someday Usopp says I have an army of 8,000 men and they come over.
That's beautiful.
But if he's saying it so much, like, what if it doesn't happen just because I say it all the time?
Oh, that'd be
He's like, I'm doing it. Oda found it. I have an idea, but I'm not doing it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Enemy that you faced so far.
Favorite enemy.
Luffy.
Favorite.
That was such a cool scene.
Big Mom. And that was the biggest fight he's done, too.
I don't know, that's so hard. Kaido was amazing, but also very long, and like, I was very ready for him to die. And then I like the ones, the villains with the backstory that you don't get all of. So I liked Katakuri, I liked Luci, the ones that we're gonna find out more about.
I like Buggy.
Always liked Buggy. I hated Arlong and Inaru. Inaru was like,
I was so mad at Michael Tatum for
So
like a
mad
year,
at him.
chasing him up that stupid line with the ball pulled over.
30 episodes.
Ugh.
What devil fruit powers were your favorite? And I would like to add on to that is like, which ones would you personally like?
I've talked about this. My answer has changed.
Has it really?
It has, while watching.
Really? What is
Yeah.
your answer now?
Now it's Law's fruit. The room, whatever is the name of it is. Yeah.
For the longest time?
Appa.
It was the door fruit, right? Was
That door fruit is awesome.
Yes.
And very practical, but I think the Appa fruit is more practical, like day to day.
Yeah.
My favorite was the horse fruit. It became a Pegasus. But if I had one, I really want the gum fruit. I would love to be able to do that, yeah. Especially when you get to Gear 5. Oh,
Why not?
oh God.
That's the
whole,
yeah,
we can't.
I was gonna say.
Oh,
We can't
wow.
talk about that.
I would love to experience that kind of joy.
Well, you're gonna have to read
Oh,
more.
joy is the right word.
Oh boy, is it.
No. No.
Bad Brooke.
As an actor, clone, I would just be the easiest job ever.
Oh, that'd be cool.
It would just be the whole cast.
What is your favorite ongoing One Piece bit or running joke?
Oh, so many. There's so many. There are so many. I'll never get tired of Sanji being a Lothario. You know, like a hopeless Lothario.
I love Luffy not really getting people's names.
It's really fun.
Okay, Hammock.
Hey, guy. Yeah.
I have a love-hate relationship with Usopp's constantly being scared. I'm like, you are so powerful now, and you're still scared.
The fact that these awesome people can't find their way anywhere by themselves is pretty great.
Yeah.
Still, you know,
I will always like Luffy being like super interested in whatever he sees that is cool, no matter what is going on.
Yeah.
We're all doing this thing, and Luffy's over here with the robot. That's yeah. Or the mystery thing. It's a mystery.
Oh, I love that.
How has your relationship with your character changed over the years?
Well, when I first started doing Usopp, I just thought he was comic relief. And it was a fun character, and I thought, this is cool, I like him, you know? And he had a little bit of a sad story, but when he gets the money stolen from him, and he's beaten, and he's angry, he's humiliated, he's crying. I've been acting since 1979, and I've never cried real tears. I cried real tears during that scene. And I suddenly this became like one of my favorite characters ever that I played since 1979. And then, when he got to fight Luffy, and just to test his frickin' mettle, I think, to prove that he actually has some kind of worth, I love you. You know, this is amazing.
Luffy started out being a role that I got to play. And it was like this hope for what it was going to do for my career, and it was very external. And now he's become such a huge part of my life. I mean, even at home, it's not like I walk away from it. I go home, and what we look forward to as a family is sitting down and watching One Piece together. Because I'm watching it with my 9-year-old and my husband doesn't watch anime. And so when he started watching it, like he would come in the room to watch it with me and my kid just because we were there and he wanted to be with us. And now we're not allowed to watch it when he's not there. And that speaks to the power of One Piece. But it is very present now. I get his friends at school want signatures, and I come here and we're all on the boat together. I mean, you guys feel like we're part of a big, big community, and it didn't used to feel like that. Yeah, and then also we're all more involved with it. We're watching it together. I used to watch, the sub episodes, and I would drop out every now and again, and I would come back in. And now we are watching it like start to finish, and we all get to talk about it. And I get texts from Chris Sabat of all people going,
Yeah.
"We just cried our eyes out about Usopp. I can't believe." And that's not Chris. It's been really, really fun watching that happen.
He met Brooke last week in Sydney.
Oh my gosh, she's so excited.
Well, first of all, I don't feel as in control of him anymore. I'm not in control of the whole thing. They have a way that they talk. Like, there's a right and a wrong, and what you see it up there. You see the words, you hear the Japanese, and there's a way that it comes out. And there was a while in the beginning where you try to figure out how, and you try to get in the mind, and then eventually you just gotta go, oh, and you just do it. And like you said, the bigger of a fan I become and entrench myself in, like, I'm reading all of it and then watching it, and that's what I do in my spare time. I can't tell you how much I love talking to you guys at my table. When you don't know the show, and somebody comes up to you and they go, I love you in this show, and you're like, it's awesome, I was that guy. He had that catchphrase, and you just say the catchphrase and you have no idea. But this is something that, One Piece fans are some of the best fans out of all. Like, if you watch One Piece and you are still a mean person, or beat down on people, or are cool with depression, you don't get it. And so every One Piece fan that I've met has just been so kind and generous, and just really nice, good people. And to be able to talk to you guys in depth about the show has been just so special for me. And then the more you get into that, then you go in the booth and I'm like, oh, hi Luffy. And Luffy I'll say something to him, and then I'll hear him responding to me. And that's so crazy. Because even when I read it, I hear you. I hear these guys as I'm reading it. And so then on the days that I get to go in and work, we thought this the other day when we went and had some scenes together. It was like, oh, here he is. It's so great. And I'm getting to talk to Usopp. God, I love Usopp.
I love going in last to record.
Yeah, I bet.
And that rarely happens because I have the most flexible schedule, I think. I get to play off of these guys. Oh God, it is such a treat. It's like driving around in a Rolls Royce or something. It's amazing.
You just react, and if you can make the people behind the glass watching you laugh, great.
I just have to respond to Lucy. This is easy.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, let's go.
Or Chopper's so funny. Chopper's so funny.
Chop chop.
Sweet. And I don't think any of us are unaware that this is a very unique situation. You don't normally get to play people this long. And it's, for me with Nami, it is great to get to play such a straightforward person. It is a real gift, and just like they said, my favorite part of doing this show is I know my note in this show. I know the note I play. I know the note she is. And that's kind of a work skin. One of the career skins that I have is absolutely knowing where I fit in this universe. And it's a joy and a privilege,
It's kind of like being a superhero because you have this alternate identity that you just go into so naturally, and it's such a part of who you are, yet your family doesn't really see it, They little glimpses here and there that may give them, hey, I never see Sonny and Usopp in the same room together. But generally, though, it's like being a superhero. You got this secret identity.
This one isn't really necessarily a question, but I think it really also kind of encompasses kind of what you were all saying, which was, what if all this time the true One Piece was the friends we made along the way?
I mean, in part, it's true, right? In part, that's the point. It's a journey show. It's
It was certainly our One Piece.
But truly, it is. I think it's self-serving, but I think the Arlong arc, that's the point, right? The Straw Hats are kind of born in this moment where a person who does not deserve friendship or kindness, who has been a real sellout and really awful to Luffy and the boys, is suddenly broken to the point where she has no other recourse but to say, I can't do this by myself. And even though she doesn't deserve it, it's this belief in people that Luffy has throughout the entire series that sort of drives this real magic moment of, yes, we will do it. Boys, and they're inexplicably like, yes. And he goes and punches out Arlong. And the show, for me, takes off. Like, that is where I think we take flight. And it's the power of, we don't deserve it, but there's this person who sort of sees it in us before we can see it, and we become a family of that. You know, I mean, I'm still gonna yell at him every day of my life, but
Yeah, I think it's very valuable to see a character like Luffy who teaches you that it's not about whether you deserve it or not. It's about asking.
Yeah.
yes.
My friend.
Yeah, it's just like when Usopp had to apologize to get back with him, but that's all he needed. And then, oh my God, I've watched that one several times.
Yeah, yes. It's about living where you are. That's I've said it a million times, but I haven't said it to you today. To me, the thing about Luffy is that he lives in the moment so completely. Out of any character of any anime, he's the one who is not tortured by his past. He has a torturous past, but he is not tortured by it. And he has a goal for the future, but he is not so myopic about that goal that he can't deal with what's just right in front of him. He's just always living exactly in the moment. And sometimes that means that he's hilarious because he does the thing that he wants to do right then. And then sometimes it means that he is the only one who is seeing clearly enough and has his priorities in line enough to get what needs to be done, and to push forward when he's been beaten down. Because it's not about how you were feeling, and it's just right in this moment, just move forward, take that next step. And that's really that's it. That's all we need to do as a society. And it's awesome to hear it come from a teenage boy pirate made of rubber.
For this next question, what are some of your favorite One Piece outfits? Which is fun because not all anime characters get a second outfit.
True that. Yeah, we have a lot of outfits.
Any of the movies. I love the movies.
These
movies.
Movies have the best outfits.
They do. Every one of them.
Gold and red,
Red
both
had
were
great.
great
Red
outfits.
Great outfits. Gold had great outfits, yeah.
I really want that film red hoodie with the puffy. Yeah. I want that.
Well, I'm enjoying Egghead.
Egghead is awesome.
The Egghead outfits, like, it's super fun.
Bubble in my head.
What else?
Well, I mean, I liked all the iterations of like Afro Luffy and Nightmare Luffy and Oars, and I want all those pops, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought Brooke and Wano was hilarious.
Yes.
Like, what are you going to pretend to be? Oh, a ghost. You're an idiot. What a ghost, what a ghost. Stupid.
If you could switch roles, whose character would you voice? And then can you do the impression?
That's fun!
You want to trade in?
I mean, we can.
Okay.
Do it.
Oh, man.
That's pretty good. That's good.
I am the great Captain Usopp!
Yes! That's good. That's probably the best I've worked.
He's my favorite, man.
That's
Awesome.
Who are
You're
you gonna be,
interchangeable.
Colleen? That's great. I'm not trading with you. You're older than Nami.
Your hand is much warmer than mine.
I'm gonna pick Zoro because
Do it.
he has he doesn't have to scream at all, and he gets awesome fights and is still really cool, and it's not fair. And I'm just gonna do Four Sword style. It's not a good imitation, but it is how Luffy imitates.
We all, I'm sure, all of us have a Luffy in us. Do it! Like, where you're like, oh, I guess I need to go get some meat. Oh, you're like, dumber. I know. Dumber.
It's not, I guess I need to go get some meat. Say, meat!
Yeah. Well, it would be super fun just because I'm never that girl. But to get to be Robin would be so fun.
You'd be a good Robin.
Like, oh, it would be delightful.
Yes. That's the thing about Lucy is she's so talented she could literally play every single role. You could be Chopper. You could be Nami.
She could be Usopp.
And you could be Robin.
And Usopp.
Oh no, we can work your
We
Usopp.
should find
Yeah.
Usopp.
That's fantastic. Lucy's so good.
Next question would be, what would be your character's idea of the perfect day?
Today.
Hey, there's no danger today? Awesome!
What are you about to say?
No, exactly.
What are you gonna say right now?
Just a big old room full of pennies. Just spend all day without maybe have some tea. And hang out with guys. We just hang out with pennies.
Perfect. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Nami, it would just be what? Shopping. It would be shopping and food. Shopping.
If you had to pick another character to voice, who would it be? We did that one? Okay. Yeah. Then who is your favorite character that you didn't voice?
Chopper.
Brooke.
Usopp.
Sanji.
If we're opening it up outside of the Straw Hats, then Bonsai.
Oh. Not Foxy. Used to be Foxy.
I love Foxy.
Oh, Foxy.
No, I'm rewatching Bonsai.
I will still say Boogie. I feel like he's a villain who fails upward.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
And also, I just love the syntax of how he's always like, "How dare you flashily do your thing at me?" Like, it's funny. It's so funny. And Mike is so great. He voices him so well.
Mike McFarland, who played Muggy, also was our first director, and he really set the tone and the pace for the show. He deserves a big hand.
Oh, absolutely.
And maybe like a car. We gotta decide what we're giving him.
Nice cars.
Yeah.
No.
We haven't met him yet.
We all want to meet Oda, but we haven't met him.
But we met his proxy? Is that what I should say?
Yeah, we met a producer.
A producer
Oh, yeah.
in New York for the film Red premiere, and the producer was like wearing the Admiral's
Yeah.
whole thing with epaulets and the big hats, like the Admiral's cap, and it was intimidating.
I met the director of the animation, and he had drawn pictures of our characters and had them signed by the Japanese voice actors. That was amazing.
It's incredible. I want to meet Cho, the guy who plays Brooke, so bad. And I met one of his translators who's like, "Oh, I'm friends with him. Do you want me to tell him anything?" I said, "One day, I just pray that we can stand about, I don't know, what is this, 3 feet apart, and then just yo-ho-ho at each other's faces as loudly and as insanely as possible."
Let's do that in Japan. Let's go.
Oh, let's make it happen, man.
Yeah, we gotta
We'll
do
do it.
Pilgrimage.
We were talking about taking a Japan trip and going and seeing the bronze statues, and then going and seeing the Thousand Sunny, and heading up to it and be like, "Hi."
Love you.
We come in and look around. Go home.
I think we might know the answer to this next question, but I still want to get all of your opinions. If all the Straw Hats fought each other, who do you think would win? There could be a couple ways you go about this.
There's only one right way.
I think Usopp would have a good shot. No, I'm not. I know you're laughing, but he's like Batman. He knows your weaknesses. He knows everything about you. Look how far he got back before the time skip against Luffy. No other villain had.
I don't know we can joke all we want, but Robin would just immediately poison everybody.
Oh yeah, Robin.
Your neck.
Oh, she would just her hand can't hold everything back. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be over pretty quick. Right?
Underutilized. She could win any fight.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's absolutely it. I mean, Gear 5 Luffy or Robin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gear 5 Luffy trumps everything.
Yeah,
Really good.
we were, Sabat, to the person who said Zora, Sabat and I were on a panel the other day, and the question was asked, who would win in a fight between Zoro and Luffy? And it's not that Luffy is that much more powerful than Zoro before Gear 5, it's that Luffy never gives up, never. Zoro at some point would get bored, and would be like, why are we doing this? This is stupid. And Luffy would just never give up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know if you know this, or if any of you in the audience might know this, but Luffy's birthday is coming up.
Yes,
like in a few days, like what, next week?
That's when you get Gear 5 stuff.
Yeah. Would it be kind of cool if we did like to share like a group happy birthday?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday, dear Luffy. Happy birthday to you.
I love him so much, and I'm very excited that on his birthday you guys get the Gear 5 stuff in the dub that we've been waiting for you to see. It's so
I
good.
like that they're doing that.
That was amazing. Thank you so much for going along with that, and thank you so much for joining me here today, joining all of us here today.